right now on Sky Sports 2 and in high definition on HD2, that's channel 409. Wigan have an 18-0 advantage over the Bradford Bulls, and Ryan Noble getting a little whisper in his ear from an old friend, former chairman of the club, Maurice Lindsay, who I must say we haven't seen too much of recently. Good to see him back in the stands here at the JJB Stadium. Well, Bradford with it all to do, obviously. 18-0 down. Steve, they can't play as badly in the second half, can they, as they did in the first?
Well, if they don't shape up, I'm afraid there's going to be more tries from Wigan, because they are in outstanding form at the moment. I was so disappointed with the kicking of Paul Deakin and Ben Jeffries. You know, they're kicking the ball directly straight down the throat. I know it's an old saying, but the Bulls certainly need an early try to just lift their spirits. Remember, they've only made one real clean break. That was when Steve Menzies went flying through, and he couldn't get the ball to offload to Jeffries, who was in support, because the referee, Ben Thaler, was in the way.
Well, here is Menzies again in possession for Bradford. We'll say that Wigan have also kept number 8 there, Sam Burgess, pretty quiet here tonight. So far. Oh, that's another poor kick from Deakin, straight into the arms of Sean Ainscough. Oh, what a hit from Burgess. Did I say that Wigan have kept him quiet? Well, he put Ainscough on the deck, and Ben Thaler has given a penalty to Wigan here. I don't think he was tackled completely, was he? Did Burgess bounce off him, and did Sykes finish him off?
Well,
no, he's not tackled.
I think Sykes has got the right to go in and finish that tackle off. Definitely.
Well, he's got that wrong, Ben Thaler.
Tackle complete.
Either way, Wigan will apply more pressure. And then, I mean, the confidence that has been displayed in that first 40 minutes must have not only pleased Brian Noble, but it's amazing when you drop someone. Tim Smith was not injured. It sends a message right the way through the camp, and you'll be also pleased by Sam Tompkins' performance.
Hock gets the ball away. Here is Eamon O'Carroll.
3, move, hold it. Go well, Steve.
McIlorum. And here is Tompkins. Now it's O'Loughlin. And Harrison Hansen.
Movement!
Harrison Hansen, who is, of course, a New Zealand international and a Samoan international, but he came through the junior ranks at Wigan. 24-18 to the Castleford Tigers with 6 to go in Perpignan. That would be a famous win for them. Good kick. Well claimed, but Wigan run Sharif into the in-goal area. He caught it in the field of play here, as you see. Landed almost in the in-goal area. And vigorous defence from Ainscough and company. Push Ricky Sharif into touch. It's a goal line dropout.
Well, they've carried on from where they finished in that first 40 minutes. They are controlling this game. Defence is solid. And keeping the Bulls very quiet indeed. There's Maurice Lindsay. We'll be enjoying this.
Well, he remains, I'm sure, even though he has worked for Super League in the past and the Rugby Football League, I'm sure he remains a committed Wigan supporter now that he has retired from those jobs. This is Luluai. And he finds Gareth Hock again. Short ball to Carmont. Tried to pick his way through the defence. Sykes was lucky to get away with that.
Good referee. Good refereeing there by Ben Thaler. He was about to give the penalty, but you could see that they got the advantage.
Well, he gives it this time. You can't do it twice, Paul. And 2 points, says the coach.
Looking to get away with it first occasion. Applied the advantage, and then rule states quite simple: roll away, not over the top of the man. They are very confused, I'm afraid, and flat at Bradford. Steve McNamara will be wondering what on earth he can do to instill a little bit more enthusiasm. Doesn't appear to be much talking amongst the team, even at this point in time, why Pat Richards is lining up this penalty attempt. There doesn't seem to be much chatter amongst the Bulls, when in a situation like this there should be plenty of talk.
Well, they're doing it tough injury-wise, Bradford. Andy Lynch yet to feature. Solomona Langley got dislocated shoulders in the opening game against Hull KR. But Paul Sykes is indiscretion is punished with 2 points. Wigan are ahead 20-0 now.
Eddie, you asked a very good question last night to Nathan Brown after the match when you questioned how much the victory at Bradford had taken out to the Giants. I wonder how much the defeat has actually taken out to the Bulls. You know, sometimes when you dominate your opponents and feel as though you should win, perhaps it's a case that they just feel a little bit sorry for themselves tonight here. They didn't have the joy in the first game against Hull KR that they felt they deserved, and for some unknown reason they do seem here to be just at 50% of their full capacity. It's like an engine without any oil in it. It's not functioning at full capacity.
I think the big names like Langley and Solomona and Lynch, do you think they are missing them? Do you think that's the problem?
I do, but you also asked Barrett at half-time which players could win the game. I don't think it's any one. I think collectively they need to try and up a tempo and play with a greater intensity.
Lucky to get away with that, O'Loughlin. It finds its way to Amos Roberts. Down he goes under the challenge from Morrison and Tajilala. They are messing around at the play, the ball, Bradford. They are testing the patience of referee Thaler.
5, move, son! Get clean, Steve.
O'Carroll plays the ball to McIlorum. There is Thomas Lulawai. A kick that Michael Platt allows to run dead in goal.
Just a little bit too heavy, but the idea is there. They're not sending it straight down the throat of the defending side, and that's all we've seen from Bradford in this game.
And Thomas Lulai has got, you know, more than enough time to pick and choose where he wants to kick that ball. I just look at the Bradford players, and some of them, you know, they're looking for the long grass. It's been a torrid couple of opening fixtures for the Bradford club. They've got injuries and they're just low on confidence, and they need some leaders, they need some spark. Terry Newton's one of those players, but he's not out there at the minute.
Yeah, and Bill has sent the word up from the sideline, just asked him quietly, is he injured? Well, apparently not. But they could do with a bit of umph, couldn't they, from Terry or somebody?
Well, to be fair to Steve McNamara, he did send out Wayne Godwin, who's over the years certainly had the ability to do a little bit more and add that spark. Jeffrey's kick into the corner, which is probably the first good one. There is Terry Newton.
I'm a big believer, me. Tez Newton, he's from Wigan. He spent time at the Wigan club. He's going to have one of the best games of the season against his former club. He's going to be so inspired. Great kick here from Bradford. The kicking game from Jeffries, maybe the responsibility has been given to Jeffries, I don't know, but Terry Newton should be on this pitch because he'll be trying as hard as anybody in a Bradford shirt.
Here we go, guys.
Well, there's no sign of him as yet. He's still got the coat on. He's got the leggings on as well, so he won't be on for the foreseeable future.
Okay. 2. Movement! Hold 8. Go, good.
McIlorum and Lulawai and Hock, and a great run from Gareth Hock. Look at the support that is with Gareth Hock.
Oh, he bombed it.
Well, he's thrown that away.
He has bombed it. He went for glory when he really should have offloaded, and he knows it. Looks like there's an injury out there as well. It's Lulawai.
Yes, he got a big heavy clatter trying to pick up the loose ball from Gareth Hock. He did everything right, didn't he, until he had to pass. So with two men up here, watch them. Richards is one, and out wide further, that was young Sam Tompkins.
It was glory. Yeah, well, it's glory time, and we've got to play as a unit, as a team. Just at this, he should have passed there.
Gareth Hock has run and stepped on the inside of Steve Menzies, and Steve Menzies has come over here. I'm not blaming his age. Age is a number when you're an athlete like him. He's good with the ball in hand. Defensively, he's got to aim up. It's a physical competition, Super League. He can't just want to run with the ball and score tries. I know he knows that. He's a very, very experienced player. But at that age, you need a good bench. You need to be able to spell him. And unfortunately, with the injuries, I don't think that's happening.
Pass from Deacon looked a little bit forward to Cook. Here he is again, the skipper. And now Menzies. That's a great ball to Jeffries. That's a good ball to Platt. Here is Jeffries. Bradford will get in the corner with Ricky Sharif. An excellent try from Bradford there. Excellent try. The spark that they needed. And Ricky Sharif over in the corner. 8 tries for Harlequins last year. His last try was against Bradford Bulls last August. And here he is life into Bradford Bull's challenge.
At a time when it looked as though Wigan could have sealed this game when Hock made that break. The beautiful offload from Menzies to Jeffries, and what about the support play? Outstanding. We heaped huge praise on the way that the Cherry and Whites played in the first half, but this is sheer quality. Jeffries involved 3 occasions, Sheriff, Platt. Oh, that was superb. Look at that offload there from Menzies, the skill. Platt chiming through, good balance. Knew he couldn't make it, and Sharif did the right thing. He just pulled back in time so it wouldn't be a forward pass. Boy, that was sensational.
Wonderful try from Bradford. Just what they needed.
It's
Now,
amazing.
will that breathe life into them, I wonder?
Isn't it amazing, Eddie, you get to a point whereby there is something out on the pitch where a team should have put them to bed.
Well, it could have been 26-0. As it is, it's 20 points to 4.
Still a long way to go for the Bulls, but that will certainly spark them up. The offload.
Steve Menzies is looking
Wonderful.
at the bench, talking to the people who are sitting there. Yeah, I think Steve McNamara is down there.
He's an absolute superb player, don't get me wrong. He can play with the ball in hand as quick as any of the backs in Super League, and we've just seen his skills.
This was a lovely ball out the side, wasn't it? Set them on their way. But 20 points to 4.
Okay, Pat.
High kick-off. Menzies is underneath it. This is Burgess. Wigan have done a decent enough job so far on Big Sam.
Keep it coming, Andy Coley.
We mentioned in the first half, didn't we? It was very rare that the Bulls made the break, and that's an error, the knock-on. Godwin really got squeezed then. McAloran first, and I don't think it was high. Either way, just couldn't control it.
What's the short side here? What's the short side here?
Now will the Cherry and Whites Wigan put a set move on here?
Oof, look at that. Castleford have beaten the Catalan Dragons 24-22 in Perpignan. And we've got highlights in our later programme tonight. 3 successive wins for Castleford Tigers now. I think we'll have a big audience in West Yorkshire. It's just after midnight tonight. Super League highlights including Catalan Dragons and Castleford, and of course Wigan and Bradford here. It's a good story building up in the jungle. Terry Mattison doing a great job. Here's Gareth Hock, and Gareth Hock gets that one down. Second try for Gareth Hock. Well, he made up there for the error a few minutes ago when he had a ton of support on his left shoulder. He has so much strength and so much talent, this young man, and he plonks the ball over the line, as I say, making up for the mistake, the error, the lack of judgment when he made the break earlier, and such strength then on the opponent's line. Gareth Hock with his second try of the night.
There are many ways to say sorry to a coach, but they don't come much better than this. Get the 4 points, jubilation, nice step. He has been a real thorn in the side. Good position by Thaler. Didn't have to send it upstairs to the video referee, and that is wonderful second effort. Plenty of people around, heavy traffic, but he certainly parked the car when he wanted it. He's having a big game, the All-Are.
You know, just reflecting on that Castleford Tigers victory in the south of France, Wigan took a lot of stick for the fact that they lost here to Castleford, and they were also beaten here by Wakefield. Wakefield are up there near the top of the Super League table at the moment. They have a big game at Hull KR tomorrow, and Castleford are proving that they are no mugs either. Of course, Castleford Tigers would have been relegated in a previous life, but the licence system came into force, and it allows clubs like Castleford and hopefully Salford, who are just struggling at the moment, and Celtic Crusaders, gives them time to build. Richards with the conversion is successful, 26-4.
When you throw a dummy, you've got to step with it as well. And watch how Menzies just slips, bang. And he had the upper body strength to finish it off. Great work.
Gareth Hock, one of the players who has come through the system here, Phil, at Wigan. There's Ainscough. There is also the two Tompkins boys. It should come as no surprise to anyone that the youngsters are still here in Wigan and still want to play this game for this club.
Eddie, there are 127 junior teams playing every weekend, in addition to the work that takes place at the school, and that filters into a very successful scholarship scheme that has been here under Brian Foley for 10 years now. They have continued to produce players. You know what, it's no longer a lack of numbers. There are 2,000 young people playing rugby league every weekend at the very least. And on top of that, you've got 23 amateur open age sides. I mean, the percentage of the population in this area that either comes to watch or turns out to play rugby league is amazing.
Well, it should come as no surprise that the youngsters are there to play the game, but there's one of the most experienced heads, Pat Richards. 800 points now for the Wigan Warriors, courtesy of that conversion that he just slotted over to make it 26 points to 4. Let's go down to Bill on the side.
Well, it's been a wait, but Terry Newton is coming back on for the Bulls, but is it too late? Nick Scruton with him as well on the sidelines as Steve McNamara, who's down here as well, rings the changes, and Terry Newton has been a frustrated figure for the first bit of this second half as he's sat there. He's run up and down the sidelines. He's been just a few yards away from Steve McNamara, looking at him, wondering when he's going to get back on, and it's going to be very shortly.
And there is more problem for Steve McNamara because Wayne Godwin is just out of your frame at the moment, and there is a stretcher there, and that could be a serious knee injury for Wayne Godwin, who came on to replace Terry Newton. Here's the moment maybe when it happened.
Ooh, the full weight went on the ankle, I feel.
Aliasina's a big thing, isn't he?
Yeah, big unit onto it, and well, let's hope that it's not too bad. They're going through a bad trot, aren't they, the Bradford Bulls, with injuries at the moment. Can ill afford to lose a player of this calibre.
Ex-Wigan, of course, Wayne Godwin. And will leave the field. Terry Newton was due to come back on, of course, even though way before Wayne Godwin was injured. So it's nothing to do with this, that Newton is thrown back into the fray.
He looks in some pain, Wayne Godwin there. He tried to come off the pitch, sat up. Yeah, it's just his right leg. You can see the grimace on his face. Aliasina, his knee actually lands right in the middle. And dare I say, it could be a broken leg that. Look at the pain and the anguish on Wayne Godwin's face.
Well, his right leg is protected as he comes off to sympathetic applause.
Well, let's hope that it is not a break.
Stay behind, guys.
Having said that, the penalty will be taken.
Thanks, Tom. Live it out, Mick!
What a turnaround it's been within 7 days.
10.
A win at Harlequins
Go.
lifted their confidence, but what they've produced so far, Wigan tonight, has been very classy indeed.
Go.
Riddell at dummy half, just back on the field. He finds Tompkins. Woof.
3, move!
Well, that is the challenge that Sam Tompkins faces. A big hit from Matt Cook.
4.
Fair play to the youngster, bounds straight back up.
Hold it, Glenn.
And he's in the line waiting to play his part in this latest attack. Here is Aliasina, though, meanwhile. Oh, he takes some stopping. Marauding run from the big fellow. Back it comes to Luluai. Here is Sam Tompkins. Great ball to Harrison Hansen. Try for Wigan. Harrison Hansen with the latest Wigan try. They're running away with this now. Tompkins with the money ball. But Wigan lined up across the field then. And once Aliasina had dragged Bradford underneath the posts, you got the feeling he was only delaying the inevitable. Harrison Hansen. Hitman of the year last year, 825 tackles. Personally, 4 points here tonight.
The sheer weight of Aliasina got them into a good position, and watch the delayed pass. Beautiful. Hansen didn't go straight. He comes on the angle, which makes the gap widen. Beautiful pass. They didn't know it was coming. Fantastic stuff. No wonder they've got a big smile all over their face. Hansen finishes it off. But remember this name, Sam Tompkins. A few seconds before that wonderful pass, he got absolutely mullered by Matt Cook and bounced straight back up into the fray. He's got talent, Phil.
And there's another Tompkins as well. You talk about the scholarship here at Wigan. A younger brother, Logan Tompkins, is the third in the line. It would be great to see Joel, Sam and Logan all playing here at Wigan. What a proud family that would be, and there is the potential that it could happen.
That would be fantastic, wouldn't it? And don't bet against it. Pat Richards to add the extras, which he does. Plonks it easily over the bar. 32 points to 4 here at the JJB Stadium. And we know, of course, that Castleford have beaten Perpignan. And look at that, half-time at Bridgend. We have been checking that, I'll tell you, for about the last 10 minutes. We've even rung our cameraman, who was down at the Brewery Field in Bridgend, because a lot of people could not believe their eyes when we saw it coming up on the web, but it is absolutely spot on. Celtic Crusaders 0, St Helens 0 at half-time in Bridgend. How's that?
Nice to know, Eddie, that you trust people.
Well, when you see things like that, you just wonder if, you know, if there's a delay, or if you've lost communication with somebody, or there's something gone wrong.
It's no surprise, Eddie, mainly due to the fact that, remember, that they were always going to have a slow start.
It's no surprise the Celtic Crusaders have got 0-0 at half-time against St Helens.
It's not a surprise at all.
Oh, okay.
We've been saying it all along, that it'll be Fortress Bridgend. Dixon, the coach, has done a fine job, and he said, wait until we get fit. Remember, they only had 7 days preparation before they took on Leeds.
Oh, invention from Sam Tompkins, look at that! Luluai's in support. Great scrambling back in defence.
It's the turnover, they went for the power play.
It so nearly came off for Tompkins and Luluai.
Beautiful play. A few raised eyebrows, Brian Noble. He took the gamble, dropped Tim Smith, and let this young kid loose.
He got a little bit of good fortune, didn't he? But hey, you make your own luck, don't you?
Yep.
With youth comes enthusiasm, and that's what all these youngsters who are playing today are brought to this Wigan side. They've been first to everything. When a ball's been on the floor, they've been prepared to put the body on the line, and sadly Bradford haven't.
Movement! Go! 5, move!
Terry Newton with the kick. Just jinks away from Amos Roberts. Roberts bounces off a couple of challenges.
2, move! 1. Well done.
Here is Richards now for Wigan. We're coming up to the hour mark. Wigan have got this match in their pocket.
3, move, guys!
It's going to be very difficult for the Bulls to stop them as well, because they're rampaging through, they're running with ease over the advantage line, and of course quick play the balls are creating all sorts of trouble for them.
Go.
Riddell finds Paliacina.
5.
Paliacina trundling it up the middle again. Riddell once more. Here's Tompkins. Up it goes off the boot of Tompkins. Claimed by Michael Platt. And Joel Tompkins completes the tackle on the Bradford fullback. Okay, down to Bill. We've got news, I think, of Wayne Godwin, Bill.
2.
He'll be on his way to hospital very shortly for an X-ray on a suspected broken leg. That's the word from the Bradford camp. They're not absolutely certain. That's why he's on his way to hospital. But all the signs are that it is a break, and it just adds to the Bulls' problems and a wretched start to the season. And these injury problems are off it. Godwin, the latest injury then. You've got Solomona, Lynch and Langley all sitting this one out as well with their injuries.
4.
Yes, the problems mount then for Steve McNamara. And the reward so far, just the 1 point from an opening day draw at Odsall.
5, movement, guys!
Here today, hoping for their first win of the season.
Okay.
Deacon
Not in.
over the top of Ainscough, who was not interested.
2, mate.
It's a better kick from Paul Deacon. that could cause a few problems, couldn't it? But if a player goes over in the corner and he touches that post, he's deemed to be touching goal. They ought to really stand that thing up.
A picture can tell 1,000 words. Bradford, a little bit flat. I bet they feel like that post.
In we go. Stay up.
And guess what? A match official is on his way round to stand the corner flag up.
It's good, isn't it? He can do numbers on jerseys, corner posts.
Tell you what,
Great power as a man.
Tell you what,
Surrender.
eyes all over the show. Good lad.
Go.
I think he might be a bit older than Ladd, but
3. Movement.
either way, they've got it all fixed up.
Go.
Ball wide to O'Loughlin. From O'Loughlin rather to Ainscough. Oh, he does well. He was being forced over the whitewash and he decided he wasn't.
How on earth did he stay in?
Come back.
Carmont missed out one, but found Palliacina.
Oh, an offload by Palliacina, but it's been classed as forward. I'm not sure that it was.
Call out. Cut him in.
No, he called hell, that's what the referee said.
Okay.
Pass the ball.
I saw his arm go out. I thought he'd gone for a forward pass, but
By the way, the fourth official has done his best, but the corner post even worse now than it was before. And what's more, Bradford haven't found touch. Here comes Ainscough again.
Ball.
But he's pushed it back even lower.
Well done.
He's having another look at it.
Move. Hold it. Go. 3. Move.
Riddell is the dummy half.
oh, looks to be a problem with Newton.
Riddell, a great break. 1, 2, 3, 4 in support. Riddell gives it to Harrison Hansen, who slides over for his second try. Momentum taking Harrison Hansen home. They're putting the cleaners through the Bradford Bulls tonight.
Super stuff, though, isn't it? Soon as Brian Noble elected to drop somebody and throw in a young kid into the deep end.
Mind you, Bradford didn't find touch with the penalty either, did they? That helped.
Too true, but look at this from Riddell. He has struggled to settle down. No doubt. Ricky Sharif got to him. He kept his cool, didn't he? Did everything right. He drew the fullback Michael Platt. And Hansen. Sharif went low, but he just slides away. That is wonderful stuff. They produced some outstanding play tonight.
Didn't Harrison Hansen do well not to lift his arm and try and get that ball over? He knew his momentum would carry him over, but Mark Riddell, that's what we expected from him when we heard that he was coming over. He's very much in the mould of Kieran Cunningham, and he's showing that tonight.
Well, Richards has been faultless with the boot so far, 6 from 6. Had an off night last week at Quinn's.
All right, mate.
But not so tonight, so far. Oh, brilliant. Great kick. Great kick from Pat Richards, 38-4.
Well, there's no way back from Bradford here tonight, but I think the fans could take heart from just how quickly things turn around in sport. 5 minutes before the end of the game last week, Wigan looked as though it would read played 4, lost 4, till they got an interception try. The win has rejuvenated the confidence amongst the side, and just look how they've played today. Bradford at the moment going from bad to worse.
Yes, the kick-off from Deacon sails out on the full. It's a penalty to Wigan on halfway. I don't think Brian Noble could have dreamt it would have gone as well as this tonight. It's always a big match for Brian against the Bradford Bulls because of his history with the Odsal club. Took them to, what was it, 5 grand finals. He was a player for many, many years as well. Probably been involved with Bradford more years than he cares to remember. But now he's very much in control of the Wigan destiny. And tonight, it's going to be a very big win.
Just a little bit overplayed there by Palliacina, who's had a big match. Hasn't been a bad one. Oh, and Sykes has put it down. Good opportunity.
Brian Noble would have said at the start of the game, we've got a plan, we've got a structure, and let's stick to it. The 30 points up, and we see Bradford trying to force the game now. But Brian Noble, I'm only guessing, would have sent the message down, just enjoy yourself, lads. We saw Palliasina try to get that offload away, try and generate some confidence, some enthusiasm.
Luluai gets the possession from the base of the scrum. Here goes Richards.
Move!
Doesn't take long to become a zero and then into a hero. As I said earlier, Brian Noble. Bookies were saying he was odds on to be sacked.
That's great work from Palliasina to Luluai.
Move!
I don't know how anybody can say that so-and-so is odds on to be sacked so early in the season, but
well,
I know
they
what
do.
you're saying. Tompkins.
3.
There's no need. I mean, there is no need with the licences. There's no relegation. I know that boards will say business is being damaged, but it's a building process for all the clubs.
Well, he had the faith in Brian Noble.
No, you've got to bring that back. Riddell was not given the mark by Ben Thaler. Now he's got the mark, and
Guys!
He can walk back from it, can't he?
yes, he can move backwards. Here is Palliasina. Another try for Wigan.
Yep.
He's just going to check the grounding, I think.
Yeah, just check the grounding.
Well, it bounced up with such ferocity.
Just double check.
But I think you'll find that he's got control over it, and then it bounces up. And it's a fine finish for this fella. Well, I'd give that.
Ian Smith is the video referee.
If you're going to judge a try, whether it's scored on the size of the smile, you watch Palliasina's face. He gets that ball down for me.
Yep.
It's grounded with the forearm, isn't it?
Well, I think so. I think he's in control.
Don't think you could turn that down.
No, it'll be TRY as far as I'm concerned. The confirmation, it is.
Becca Palliasina. He made the most metres forward for Wigan last year, 2,893. He also weighed in with 9 tries in 2008. It was a career best tally for him. This is one that, in terms of this game, is not absolutely vital because Wigan are so far in front, but he'll enjoy it just the same. Unstoppable.
Sheer power. He's at his best game.
Richards adds 2 more. Wigan sail to 44 points to 4.
All right.
And these extra points that are being piled up, they could prove very valuable indeed later on in the season.
They've substituted that corner post for you, Eddie.
No, it's the wrong one, because the one we're pointing out is still at an obtuse angle.
Maybe it's just tired.
It's gone again. There's too big a hole, Barry, on the corner.
There are times when it's easy to pick a man of the match.
2.
But I must admit, this is going to be extremely difficult because I really can't see a bad player out there in Cherry and White at the moment. I wish I could spread the award
3. Yeah.
to the team itself, because this has been outstanding.
Go. 4. Move. Underneath. Go.
Bailey to Tompkins. Here's Palliasina, who is full of it now that he's got that try.
Keep it coming.
Last tackle.
Okay. Kick us clear.
Riddell was under pressure from Newton. Platt has it for Bradford. It's a great chase, though, from Wigan, and Platt had to retreat. Gives it to Sharif. Tompkins missed him. Yeah, Tompkins missed him. Tompkins didn't. It was Joel and Sam. I tell you what, Phil, I can do without 3 of them. Here is Nick Scruton.
3. Movement, guys. Hold it.
10.5 to go. It is shellacking for Bradford.
Eddie, you've talked about the number of Wigan youngsters out there. The average age of this side at the moment is 25, which is actually not that much younger than one you particularly find. Leeds and Manly last week had ages of 25 and 26, which is virtually the same, even with the youth of Sam Tompkins and Sean Ainscough.
Menzies goes down. Yeah, there's one or two older heads, isn't there? But Andy Coley is about the oldest, with George Carmont, they're 30.
Well done, 5.
Terry Newton, he'll be stinging as a result of this. Deacon, it's a bit too far ahead of Nero, but it's claimed by Amos Roberts.
Go.
Bit of very confident display, and Bradford, of course, they were trying to salvage something out of this, maybe another try, knowing Brian Nobley will have got the message out and say, we do not concede one. Simple as that. They've shared the workload of Wigan.
O'Loughlin gets the ball to Luluai.
No.
Martin Afai will have the highlights of the weekend for you on Sky Sports News tomorrow. Boots and All Online goes online from Tuesday nights, and it's also available on Sky anytime from Wednesday. That's available on your television sets. Thursday we're at Widnes. Wednesday before that we've got Boots and All, 6 o'clock Sky Sports 2. Here's Platt. Oh, something has happened there to Platt. I think it's Terry Newton. Looks like he might be carrying an injury as well. Platt is in trouble over the far side. It is getting worse for Bradford. 44-4 they're losing, and their players are going down like 9 pins. One is on his way to hospital. We've already known that. That's Wayne Godwin. And there's a problem with the shoulder for Michael Platt.
And major players as well that are picking up the injuries.
Terry Newton there, just holding his left arm. He's a very poorly boy. It's not like him to stay down. Even when he's passing the ball, he looks in discomfort. Sam Burgess, who's in your screen now, I saw him at Hartshead Services last week with a boot on. He'd done his ankle ligaments and bravely playing on today.
This is Sykes. Oof. That was a good collision. Here goes Tompkins again.
Well, Richards
who just flattened him.
Oh.
Stood his ground, didn't he?
Did he ever? That's play on. That's not a knock on. He was going involved with the tackle.
Burgess.
This will be a try. If he gets over, he can't.
Fielden holding him down a bit. Wigan are in disarray in defence. They could have all been penalised for offside then, and they will be.
Good refereeing by Ben Thaler there. So often the rule that came in a few years ago is that if you're involved in the tackle, not classified as a knock-on.
Here's Menzies for Bradford. Menzies!
One. Move! Go.
Bradford trying to prize an opening with Matt Cook.
Both feet!
This is Newton. Back it comes to Deacon. Oh. Well, that was a right schmozzle between Deacon and Sam Burgess.
He knew what he wanted to do, come back on the...
Straight in his face.
Yeah, he was hoping to use him as a dummy runner coming back on the blind side, and not the best pass.
Let's have some more injury news, Bill.
Well, there are real problems for the Bulls now. It's just a question of which of the injured players they can replace. Michael Platt, it looked as though he was going to come off a moment ago with what looks to be a shoulder problem. Matt James waiting on the sideline to come on, but they've sent Platt back on, so he's still out there. Matt James is still waiting. I think they're waiting to see how Terry Newton shapes up, but he, as Barry has observed, has got a problem with his left arm. He's having to pass one-handed at the moment. That's when they get their hands on the ball, which hasn't been an awful lot.
Going to get their hands on the ball here because Carmont, in trying to get Ainscough away, has only found the sideline.
Well, in a tight situation with a couple of points between the two sides, he probably wouldn't have gone for that. His experience enough is George Carmont, but just sort of give the youngster a bit of a run. But 44-4 is a real shellacking. And I think Bradford will be very happy to hear the hooter.
think I'm right in saying that next week Bradford play Hull FC, who are currently top of the Super League table. It doesn't get any easier for them. Here's Matt James. Sorry, Matt Cook, beg your pardon. Matt Cook.
Hold it.
Newton. Jeffries. Deacon. Burgess.
Again, solid defence. Look, they're all working hard, working as a unit.
Wigan have won the energy battle. There's more players, you know, with plenty of gas in the tank. Bradford have had to defend for their lives most of the game, and that's why they're very flat. No energy, no punch.
Well, they've got a couple of tackles still in the bag here. Can they get over for some reward? Jeffries, yes they can. Menzies gets the Bradford try, and he's first for the Bradford Bulls in the Super League.
Nice pass as well by Ben Jeffries. They could have done with that early in the game, but it's mere consolation, but at least something for Steve McNamara to build upon. Watch for the pass from Jeffries, just sucks them straight through. He knows the way to the line, this fella. The second most prolific try scorer in the history of Australian Rugby League, this fella. Only behind the mercurial winger.
What have you come for then?
Mr. Irvine.
Yes.
Deacon,
Yes.
That's a great kick from him. It just sneaks the right side of the post. But they're in double figures, 44-10.
Sheer consolation, but he'll put that in the locker and say, well, at least I've scored a try in the British game. But Steve McNamara, not only has he got problems with the injuries, Eddie, but the lack of understanding, especially with the kicking game, which has been a trademark of Bradford for many, many years. To keep turning around the opposition was very, very poor. The execution, the support play, and the lack of communication between the players has been extremely poor.
Well, it's the fourth time in a row that they have lost against Wigan away from home. But this is the first time since Super League began in 1996 that Bradford have failed to win any of their first 3 games of the year. And they're going to be stuck at the wrong end of the table at the end of this weekend. Wigan will move into the top 8 as a result of this. Still a very long way to go, of course. As all the coaches will tell you, marathon, not a sprint.
Go, well done.
Mind you, they'd all prefer to be where Hull are.
4. Movement! Okay.
Newton. Deacon. Warrency.
5. Move, Thomas! Go.
Jeffries. This is Newton. That is Newton trapped on the last tackle, and he obviously has a major problem as well, Terry Newton.
He is a very poorly lad. You look at when he received that ball, he was more or less looking for the floor, and that's the grit and determination that Bradford will have to count on.
Go.
The biggest problem of the fact that he's having to stay out there, you know, could even make the injury worse.
Well, I don't know why he's being left out there at 44-10 with 3 minutes to go, Steve, or 2 minutes to go. Get him off.
Doom and gloom day for Steve McNamara, I'm afraid. But it will be smiles all round, because Brian Noble, he got the monkey off his back in the fact that they came up with a win last week.
He's been brought off Terry Newton now, and I think that is just to confirm it. I think that's a blessing in disguise. Bradford in damage limitation now.
5. Cheers.
Last tackle here for Wigan. Tompkins, good hands. Joel Tompkins, Bailey hacks it forward. Sykes misses it. Was taken out in the air.
It's a good effort though. There's plenty of confidence. Sean O'Loughlin just took, I think it was Sykes out before. I thought he was offside, to be fair, as well, but I was trying to make the point that Wigan will just want to play, they'll just want to enjoy this game. It will carry through that confidence and that, you know, that smile on their faces will carry them through to next week. They've got a stern challenge. Got to go up to Headingley and play the Rhinos after their manly challenge and whatever Sunday brings as far as Warrington's challenge.
Yes, indeed, we will be with them. It will be a night to remember at Headingley, no doubt. Always is when Wigan are in town. Leeds Wigan next Friday. And I think actually I can also reveal that Brian Carney will be our guest next Friday night at Headingley. Last time he was there in Wigan's colours, he scored a couple of scintillating tries, remember? Brian Carney will join us at Headingley next Friday night. Relive that, no doubt.
That's confidence for you.
Ainscough.
Pat Richards with a lovely offload to Ainscough.
McIlorum. Good hit by Burgess. 5 seconds to go. One more, play the ball maybe. Yes, just the one. And Gareth Hoff just pumps the ball into touch. Wigan, it is a comprehensive defeat. Sam Tompkins played his full part in it, getting his first start in Super League at the expense of the Australian Tim Smith. Impressive, particularly in the first half and the early part of this second half.
Absolutely, Brian Noble and this Wigan side, superb at different patches. The real simple things were done very, very effectively, and